Good morning. Today, we're going to talk about being a man, a fake man that uses fake testosterone to be a man. Just kidding. We're going to talk about testosterone. We're going to talk about the fact that I microdose, and I'm going to show you how I do it. We're going to talk about, that's pretty much it. I've had some questions. Am I in the frame? I've had some questions about how do you microdose? How am I going to do this? And I was just going to show you guys how I do it, how I get down. So 250 milligrams a week is what most guys are going to get started on based on what I've heard when they start testosterone from a clinic. I recently dropped my dose down to 150 milligrams a week only because I was feeling really good at 200, but I have acne. I have acne on my back and like my chest, my arms, and then increasingly on my face, which is super irritating. I've been on testosterone for almost a year. It's May right now. August, September-ish will be a year. And it's getting better, but I want it to be even better before I go down the road of Accutane, because I'd rather take TRT than Accutane. I took Accutane when I was in high school. Didn't have a very good experience with it. I've had back problems for a long time, but I kind of didn't before I took Accutane, and so I'm thinking it just like dried me out, because based on my understanding, it just dries everything out, all your cells, and so I feel like the vertebrae in my back were never the same after I took Accutane. So I have 7 insulin syringes here, and I have this cool little device. Let me show you this thing. One of my clients made this. It says TRT, GBNR. It's like an iridescent, like purple, green, like depends on which way you look at it. It's got a little deal that'll hold your bottle of test. It's got 8 holes, and then it'll hold your drawing needle as well. This is a, what gauge is this? Was it orange? 25 gauge. So a lot of people are like, dude, I cannot draw the test out of this with the insulin needle. Yeah, don't do that. Get you one of these. Get you a big fat fatty. You're just not injecting it with that. I'm going to bump this up just a little bit because I feel like my head's getting cut off. So you're going to suck it out with that, and then you're going to put it in all these bad boys. But this little device is so rad because, look, it just holds them all up, right? I used to balance them in a line with the plungers pulled out of them, and that's what would happen. They would fall over, yada, yada, yada. Super difficult, super annoying. So this is what I do right here. But here's what I'm going to do. I have an alcohol pad. Pop the alcohol pad out. I can swab my testosterone vial. I can set it down. And then what you're going to do is you're going to pop the plunger out. Oh, God. Right onto the counter. We're just trying to do everything clean. I don't do this. I don't do it that clean when I'm not being filmed. I actually show you what I do. So this is what I do with the plungers normally. I'll pop them out and I'll just set them off the top of a supplement container, because I usually do this in my pantry, which is where I keep it. Or you can take an alcohol pad and you can just rest the plungers on it like that. That'll keep it super clean. It's not touching anything this way though, so it's worked for me. I haven't gotten some crazy infection. See, we'll just split them up. We'll just do it both ways. This is how I do it. If you guys have a better method of doing this, let me know, because this is the best thing I could come up with. And if you want one of these little blocks to hold your needles up, might have to get on my boy Chadwick, who was in one of my previous videos. The dude that lost 120 pounds. He is on TRT now as well. That's not what made him lose 120 pounds, by the way, for everybody that's like, oh, I'm fat, maybe I just need to get on TRT. No, it was after he lost 100 pounds he got on TRT, because he got his blood work done and showed his numbers were super low. So we got 7 needles. If you're doing 200 milligrams and your vial is the same as mine, 2,000 milligrams per 10 milliliters. I would draw out 1 milliliter and I would split it 7 different ways with my calculator, which if I remember correctly was like 1.3 or something like that. And so literally I'm just filling these things up like to the 13 line. But now that I'm on 150, that's going to be 0.75 ml on this big baddie right here. So we'll fill her up. Come on, dude. There we go. And this is only the longest process ever right here, waiting for this thing to fill up. I'm so bad when it comes to like conversions and ML to CC to unit to blah, blah, blah. Like, so bad with it. Everybody's like, oh, you've obviously done gear before because you had gyno. Like, you should know. No, people ask me gear questions. I'm like, I have no idea. Never touched gear, never touched anything injectable. Well, that's not true. I got on growth hormone back in 2024 for a shoulder injury. But before that, I had never done anything injectable. And I had never done test either. Okay. So now we're going to squirt it back in until it's to the... It should be 75, but I'm just going to the 7. Okay. So, where's my phone? I gotta do some math really quick. No, I don't. Because if I fill it up to the 7, then that just means that each of these is only going up to the 10 line. So this is literally what I do. Pop it in here with the plunger out, and this is called backfilling. I just backfill these things until it's at the 10 line, because 7 divided by 7 is 1. And you know what? Some of them aren't going to be 100% perfect. Like that one got filled up to the 12. Big freaking deal, dude. I'll have another one that's filled up to the 8. Just try to get them as even as I can. It's kind of hard because it always runs down the side. So you kind of have to wait for it to like run down the side and fill up. But this is how I do it. And you can see why this little block that holds them all is so helpful. Because if you're trying to do these and they're just sitting on the cap, oh my God, it does not work very well at all. Okay, there you go. That's how you do it. There's a lot of guys trying to suck testosterone out of the vial with the insulin syringe. That is not going to work because this is oil-based and so it's super thick. So suck it out with the fatter needle. Don't put it in the trash pile, put it in your sharps container. Backfill them, set them on your alcohol pad, and then what I do is I just kind of pop it in just barely. Let this come back so that when I'm putting the plunger in, I'm not shoving it out of the needle on the other side. And then to store it, I just shove it up to I just leave a little air bubble in there. But then yeah, now for the week, each morning of the week, I have preloaded and ready to go little insulin syringe with my test. That way I'm not harpooning myself with a 25 gauge needle that's like 1.5 inches long. And I'm not taking it like, some guy hit me up the other day. He's like, yeah, my doctor has me taking 200 milligrams once every 2 weeks. He's like, I feel just these weird waves of emotion. And it was Test P, which has half the half-life of Test Sip. And so I was like, well, yeah, bro, like the half-life is like 4.5 days. And he's having you do 200 milligrams every 2 weeks. He's like, it sounds better like to take Test Sip and do a little bit every day. I'm like, hell yeah. A lot less peaks and valleys in your hormones. And emotions. There you have it. Stocked up, ready to go for the week. I need one right now. And I will see you on the next one.
Go ahead.